we are going to teach you about art.
Specifically about how to make a mosaic.
This is very simple because all you need are magazines or pieces of paper. These can preferably be old so you can reuse what you already have.
The materials that you need are a paper to stick the things on, magazines or papers, scissors to cut the papers, or you can just use your hands, glue to stick the papers onto the main paper, and a pencil and eraser to draw out your shape if you want to. This is optional.
When creating this mosaic, you start off having your paper on your table. Next, what you're going to do is to get your pieces of paper and then rip them up. You can randomly rip your paper to create certain shapes with them. If you want to make more precise shapes, you can use scissors.
Once you're done doing so, you can start getting your glue and using it to paste those papers onto your base. You can place this randomly, but you can also create a drawing for you to follow.
On the screen, there will be mosaics shown for inspiration on how to create one. Here's one of a flower, an apple, a toucan, and a forest. There are many ways on how to create it. One best thing about this is that it does not have to be perfect.
You can pick different colored papers to create a shape, or it can be monochromatic, or it can be old newspapers. It really doesn't matter what you use.
If you are creating a certain design, I would recommend that you should draw it out first and label what color they should be. You don't have to put the shapes for each of the papers that you're going to cut, but if you want to, you can.
However, it would be better if you don't use scissors so that it would seem more free-handed when you make shapes, and the shapes won't be exact.
We are going to show you two simple examples of the different ways on how to create a mosaic.
On this piece of paper, we are going to cut up some construction paper and randomly glue them on. The design will be striped colors going all over the paper.
So what we are going to do first is to cut the construction paper by using our hands. For this design, we don't want it to be so neat so that there will be some texture added to it.
Then, after ripping all the paper that we want and need,
so as you can see, this activity is a very fun activity that you could do with your friends if you have free time or you just want to do something fun.
so what we're doing in the video is we're starting from both ends and we're building our way to the center.
To create a nice effect of the mosaic, we decided to use different colors of magazines that were put together to create different patterns and designs.
The papers that we used are randomly ripped and don't have certain shapes to create a nice effect.
As we progressed with making the mosaic, we decided to repeat some colors and patterns to create uniformity in the whole artwork.
After that, we decided to draw out a shape to cut later on, and this is how it turned out to be.
We decided to form the shape this way so that if we cut the shape out, it would include all the different colors and like layers of magazine like cutouts that we added.
This only took us 10 to 15 minutes to create, so you can make this at home or anywhere.
Stick all of the pieces of paper onto the base paper until you are satisfied with your outcome. You can always cut out more paper and stick them on as you go, so it is better if you do little by little so that you would not waste paper or your materials.
After creating the design that you want, that is it. You can hang it up somewhere, place it on a table for display, give it as a gift to your mom, to your dad, to your friends, to anyone.
For the second example, we will be making a sky. For this, it would be easier to sketch it out because there is a certain design that we want that needs a lot of positioning and specific shapes.
So we would have to draw out some clouds, label them as white, a sun, label it to be yellow, and a sky, and label it to be blue.
So we have to cut out the colors of white, yellow, and blue. In the drawing, we need a lot of blue, some white, and not that much of yellow.
For the sun, we could cut up curved shapes and some triangles to replicate the shape of a sun.
For the clouds, we can also cut out curved shapes but mix them with squares for the center of them.
For the sky, it would be cool if we add random shapes to give texture to the artwork, so I would be randomly cutting the shapes, then sticking them onto the base paper.
Then we decided to draw a sketch of what we wanted to use as the base for our mosaic.
This is useful when you want to do a more intricate design, so you know what to do.
Right now, we are labeling the drawing so that we know which colors we want to use for which part.
So this is our outcome.
So once you finish making your mosaic, always make sure that you clean up after yourself because it tends to get really messy. After sticking all of the papers onto the base, that is it.
This is all for the lesson. Hope you can try this out someday.
Thank you!
Hopefully this video has inspired you to be more creative.
To give you more inspiration, we have more examples at the end of mosaics.
Bibliography!